welcome back to the channel. If you happen to be new here, I am Andre, and in today's video I would like to talk about budget guitar pedals, specifically these, if you can see them, three pedals here. These are budget pedals I bought from AliExpress about a year ago, and I'm going to make a review about those. So that's the basic content under this video. So what pedals do I have here? The first one is the Musky, the D250X, which is a clone of the famous DoD 250, which is of course made mostly famous by Yngwie Malmsteen. It also has a tiny switch, as you can see, so that you can go from the DoD circuit to the MXR Distortion Plus circuit that it has in it. I will demonstrate both things in the demonstration section of this video. And then I have here the DMFX Overdrive Preamp. This is again a clone of the DX of the DoD 250, and also has a clone of the Yngwie Malmsteen 308, and also the MXR Distortion Plus. And finally, the switch here on the left has a boost in it, which is a boost from the Microamp MXR Microamp. So this has 4 pedals in one. And then finally, this green pedal is of course a clone of the famous Tube Screamer. This is also from Demon FX. This is a clone of the the Tube Screamer 808, and has a switch for the TS9. So you have possibility for that. And this is of course made famous by Stevie Ray Vaughan, and also it is usually one of the most used boost pedals. If you a clean boost pedal used in heavy metal, specifically during the 90s, that if you have already a very dirty amp and you want to push it, but at the same time tighten up the low end, this is usually what people used back then. So this is budget-friendly alternative to that. So I paid roughly around 800 or 900 Danish kroner for it, for all 3 pedals, including shipping. I was lucky with the tariffs, didn't get any tariffs when it got to me. It was kind of a bit funny because it said it would take like 6 to 8 weeks to arrive, and I got the pedals within 2 weeks, which was very surprising. Again, bought from AliExpress. Again, not sponsored in any way. So I've had those pedals here for a year now, and I've been in general very happy with these pedals. So I forgot to say, okay, between 800 and 900 Danish kroner, that's roughly 130 euros. I think in dollars with the current exchange rate, you're looking what 150. Again, these pedals can also be bought from Amazon and other places. They are not only to AliExpress, but that's where I saw them first when I started looking at them. So I bought them there. I know Amazon has them also, but again, buying some of this stuff from Amazon when you are not in an Amazon country can be tedious sometimes, because not always do they ship outside certain countries. So I bought them there. The good thing about these pedals in general, just short, is that of course the old TS 808 had a problem with the switch. This has a very good standard switch, and everything on these 3 pedals is true bypass. So again, none of this really feels like Chinese crap that you would buy in the 90s. I'm really surprised about the quality. Again, I've been using those pedals for a year in a setting at home. Your mileage may again vary if you are gigging with this stuff and you are taking them on a board where you're traveling. Maybe you can run into trouble, but so far everything feels very solid. Also, the in general build quality of the casing, nothing feels bad really, or again cheap compared to any of my other pedals. I have some much more expensive pedals. Again, my heavy Empress is much more, and that doesn't feel in terms of its build quality that much better than these three pedals. So I hope you stick around, because we'll jump now over to I'll show you some close-up shots of these pedals. I've also prepared two backing tracks that will showcase these pedals in terms of a mix, and then I have a separate demonstration section where I will just show them separately alone on a few different guitars in various with various settings. One of them will be, of course, as clear as normal boost pedals, and then cranked to see what they do here, showcasing again the orange pedals as Yngwie would use them, and the green pedals as you would use them in a heavy metal mix or in a heavy metal setting, and then also, of course, as Stevie Ray Vaughan may have used them, a pedal like this. So that's that. So I hope, again, you stick around, and on to the close-ups. So now we are in the demonstration section of this video, and I have opened my door and made three different profiles for my guitar. Should be hearing the first one here, which is a clean reverb, Super Reverb's 65 reissue. On the floor, you will see the three pedals connected to each other, powered by three of the same type power supplies. And I'm going to just demonstrate each pedal. The way, as you can see, they are set up as being as boosts right now, meaning the gain on all three pedals is set to 0, and the level is set to max. So they work as clean boosts, and I'm just going to demonstrate them to you, how they sound. And we'll start with the Muskie as the first one. So here's my sound without anything. And let's see if that works. There. Oh, and then. And you can see this just boosts, and there isn't that much with the Muskie in terms of tone changes. So let's try to see what the green pedal does. And you can hear boost also very nicely, but you get that little more compressed sound as you do with this is what the Tube Screamer is known for. Once you crank it, it starts to compress relatively heavily. and that is simply a feature, so to speak. Whether and then it comes down to whether you like it or not. So let's turn that off, and then we'll do the Overdrive preamp. And this one is set to the germanium clipping diode, and it is set to the 250, no, the 308, YGM 308. So this is how it sounds. And as you can hear, this doesn't, I'm just surprised that this doesn't boost as much as I would think, compared to the Muskie, since those should be closest to each other. Let's try some things. Right now, the Muskie, the switch is set to being that it runs the 250 circuit. So now I'm going to flip the switch and go over to the MXR Distortion Plus circuit that it should be cloning. That's still clean. Seems to have a little more bite to it than the DoD 250. So let's turn that off. And now let's, I didn't mention for the TS green, it was set to the 808 setting. So let's set it to flip the switch and see how it sounds when we go to the TS9 setting. And let's turn that on. You still have that compressed sound, but it doesn't really sound that much different compared to the 808. So again, here I would say your mileage may vary depending on what you want. But again, in this setting, we are boosting, so we are not really getting much of the gain characteristics or drive characteristics from the pedal. So let's turn that off. And let's go to the Overdrive preamp, and let's go from the first clipping setting to the boost setting, which is the micro MXR boost pedal it has in front. And now you can hear, now there's a little more meat to it with it, that this does really kick things up a bit. So let's try for fun. Let's just silicone diode instead and see how that sounds. Not much change really in here. So let's try. So now we are doing with the silicone clipping diode, and we are in the MXR Distortion Plus cloning, and then and here you can hear there's a little bit of difference that this isn't as bitey and as in your face as when I was using the 308 instead. And just to end it, let's just go to the 250. And again, a little more bite, a little more meat to it. So that's the basic settings of these free pedals when you use them as clean boost. So now I'm going to switch to a different guitar and showcase the pedals in a little more what they're known for, meaning the two DoD 250s or the Preamp Overdrive. I'm gonna kit my Strat, and we're gonna get some Yngwie sounds going. And for the TS, I'm gonna showcase it as it was used in the 90s often as a boost pedal for a very heavy tone. So that's that. I'll use a different guitar for that, not my Strat, but I take my 7-string and use that instead. So I've adjusted the orange pedals now a little bit. Level stays the same, because what I want to do now is showcase them in what they are mostly known for, at least to me. It's of course Yngwie used them as in a way to push his Marshall amp. So I have here right now a JPM Marshall capture, which is a plexi style. And as you can hear, this is how it sounds without. There's a little bit of, there's a noise gate in front of it, just to take when I turn on the pedals. And some reverb again, not as pronounced as the previous demonstration. That's that. So let's try to see how this sounds. So let's try first the Muskie. Again, the switch is now pulled up, so we are on the DoD circuit. So this is how it sounds when I turn it on. And you can hear, there it is, you get a very nice Yngwie style on the neck pickups, lead tone, and on the very nice. Is it perfect? Is it just what, of course, again, this is just what a capture that just of one sitting, of course, from a Marshall amp. So, but you get there. It gives you that push. It gives you that with a Strat, and I'm here, of course, tuned out a half step, and you get that saturated Yngwie sound. So let's turn this off and then go to the Preamp Overdrive instead. And this still sounds very much like Yngwie. Nothing really changed there. So let's try to play around with things a little bit. So again, the D-Mavic Overdrive preamp is set to the 308 circuit. So now I'm going to set it to the 250 circuit. And that's that. Doesn't really change that much either. You again, with my ears and my tinnitus, I don't hear much difference here between 250 and the 308. Again, you may hear it. Again, I don't think you will with the YouTube compression and everything. But Let's try again. Right now it's set to the. Right now it was set to the first clipping diode, the germanium. Now I set to the boost and see that should kick up things a little bit more. And that's that. It gives with the micro MXR microamp that's in front of it when you set to the boost, it does kick things up a little bit. So you can boost with that thing really a little bit. It gives you a little more, that little extra. Now I will demonstrate the change guitar once more and then demonstrate the green pedal with a Mesa Boogie amp with a really heavy tone and on a 7-string. And now for the final demonstration. Again, as I mentioned before, TS green, again as a boost, but all in front of a capture of a Mesa Boogie with Celestian V30s 4x12 as caps, as a cap. As you can hear, there's a little bit of reverb again, also a gate, and this is not the. There's hair to it, but of course this is not heavy. But let's see what happens when we engage it. This is set right now to the TS9 circuit. And you can hear this tightens up thing, kicks it really up a notch. So let's just for fun switch the circuit to the 808. See what that does. There you have it. I decided to add another demonstration, just a short one, just the TS green when it's cranked, because what I demonstrated, really what the pedal is, of course, also mostly known for, as I mentioned in my introduction, is Stevie Ray Vaughan's uses of it, and I really didn't showcase that. So here I'm going to showcase it when, again, level full up. The gain or the drive is now at roughly between 2 and 3 o'clock. I am on the TS8 circuit, and this is my tone. This is a Dumble 79 Dumble clean with Celestian V30s mic'd with an SM57. And I'm on the neck pickup. And just some reverb again on it, just to give it a little more dimension. So let's now turn on the green one. And as you can hear, you get that wonderful sound, but you can also really hear now it's really getting compressed. So just to compare, let's switch to the TS9 circuit to see how much different that sounds. So, in conclusion, where do we land with these three pedals? I'm going to give you my thoughts on it, and you can then, hopefully through my demonstration, derive your own thoughts on this. For the money, all these three pedals are absolutely worth it. If you are looking for a DoD 250, 308 sound, as again this Yngwie push sound from a Marshall, then the Demon FX preamp and the Muskie D250X will do the job. Absolutely. Very fine. The differences between them, at least to my ears, again, I have severe tinnitus, is very small. So I would buy one of these. Which one? I don't regret, just for clarification, I don't regret buying either of these because, again, the difference between the 250 and the 308 on the Demon FX Overdrive preamp are very, very small, at least in my ears. But the nice thing is that it has this micro MXR micro amp boost in front, which is a nice feature. So for that, it's worth getting, I think. And then you have, of course, the two options between the two clipping diodes. You have germanium or silicon. So you can choose, but again, the differences are small. So you can ask, do I need this? Is this worth it? So forth. So in the end, the Muskie is a little bit cheaper than the DMFX Overdrive preamp. So again, if you are on a budget, I would get this. If you're looking for that Yngwie sound. And now we come to the green pedal or the TS Green. This is a phenomenal pedal. Again, it gives you what you are. If you're looking for a boost pedal, in terms of, like, the most used boost pedal is of course the Tube Screamer, specifically the Nidus. This is again on a budget, a great alternative. Again, but if you already have a distortion pedal or some type, any pedal can work as a boost. You just kill the drive or the gain, and then you boost the level, and then you have your clean boost. Again, then it comes down to how much does the pedal then color the tone you are running. And if you're looking for that specific Tube Screamer sound, then this will do it. And of course, I think why I love this pedal very much is simply that if I put it in front of a Fender amp and I crank it and I even maybe boost it with another, I get this very nice Stevie Ray Vaughan tone on a Strat. That's really the main reason why I bought it. So if you're looking for that, again, on a budget, you cannot go wrong here. Regarding the two different types, whether you're the TS-808 or the TS-9, again, with my ears or how much I have left of them, there isn't much difference, at least to me. Again, your mileage may vary, as they say. So again, if you are on a budget, these pedals are absolutely worth it. This is, to me, not this Chinese crap that you saw in the 90s or 80s or whatever. This is actually a specific, especially for the money. You cannot go wrong with the stuff here. Again, I'm talking again on a budget. So that's that. I hope I may or may not have convinced you to look at these pedals if you are in the market at some point for a pedal of this type, whether it is a Tube Screamer type or a DoD 250 type, that you may give those pedals a try. Again, prices range. I've seen them from, it depends where you buy them, but at least on AliExpress, what I gave was again around $50 with shipping. You can find them on Amazon and all again. Just to clarify, I'm not sponsored or anything. I'm just talking about them because I think they are great for the money. So they're worth checking out. So that's the video for today, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.